All right, everybody. Who do we got in the car today? Skylar, Parker, and Dad. And where are we going, Skylar?
Hopefully to your coffee shop.
We're going, nope, not a coffee shop this time. Going to the lab in Dearborn, the very first one. And so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to talk about the lab, which this is a city strategy. And here we are in Detroit with this crazy mission. So we feel God tugging at us to do this, and we're praying for some traction here as we drive through the slick snow. The traction I'm talking about is, can you see the snow? The kind of traction I'm talking about is in the Spirit. And so we need to see a movement here in Detroit where we are where we're breaking through in the Spirit, and we're seeing revival come. And so that's the idea here. You know, I didn't come just to launch a local church, though we launched really a regional church, a regional revival center, and so we've done that. But the idea here is we want to see revival birthed in Detroit, whatever that looks like. And so we are every Friday night from 10 to midnight. We're going to be moving around the city. We're going to be in a different place every Friday night. I mean, we may have some repeats, you know, as we're trying to land.
Quarter mile.
Oh, there's my GPS.
Continue on to Outer Drive East.
I will do that. And so they can hear whatever I can hear. And so the idea is that we are going to most of the time we're going to be in a different place. We may end up back in Dearborn again next week. Not sure. Hopefully we're going to be at I Hope Some, but really we want to get into different churches in the city. And what we do from 10 to midnight is we pray, and we pray in the Spirit. We pray the blessing of God over the ministry that we're in, and we pray for revival in Detroit, and that's it. There's no teaching. No
quarter mile. Turn left at Exel Forest Road.
Turn left, you bet. I'm submitting to the authority of my GPS, and so that's the idea. Now, when we were in Colorado Springs, we did something like this called Secret Prayer, where we were in a church, a different church every Friday night. We were in over 100 churches in the Colorado Springs area. It was powerful. And what we want to see here in the Detroit area is there to be a movement of revivalists, of zealous men and women of God who will contend together, make a commitment, hardcore commitment every week to
turn left at Exel Ford Freeway Service Road, I-94 Service Road.
You'd think Google would come up with a better voice than Lady Robot, but not yet. And so, hang on just a second here. Now, the reason...
1,000 feet, take the ramp to I-94 West.
Bye-bye. The reason why we chose 10 p.m. to midnight, the same reason we did in Colorado Springs. And in Colorado Springs, Ted Haggard and a lady by the name of Juanita Johnson and myself, we were given leadership to
take the ramp to I-94 West.
And the reason we did it at 10 o'clock is because it was targeted first at leaders, and then but what happened was it became a body-driven movement instead of a pastor-driven type of thing. But the idea was that almost nobody, has anything going on at 10 p.m. on a Friday night. And so pastors do not have appointments. They don't have counseling, usually at 10 o'clock at night. They don't, there's no church events usually at 10 o'clock at night. So it's one of these excuse-free, one of the few excuse-free time zones in any given week. So that's why we're doing it in 10 o'clock.
Continue on I-94 west for 19 miles.
So the idea is that we want to gather everybody together, every revivalist in Detroit who's not doing anything or who can't reschedule, something that they'd already planned. And so what we want to do is we want to see this be something where the kids are coming. I think a lot of times it's easy to say, well, we're just gonna, the kids need to get into bed, but I'd encourage you, once a week it's going to be a whole lot better for kids to be in the house of prayer than it is to be in bed that night. I was going to bring Jet, but he ended up holding back, and I'll work on him. He'll be he'll get his spiritual muscles working. But I've got my two prayer warriors, Skylar and Parker, here, and Skylar used to come with me every Friday night in Colorado Springs as a little 6 or 7 year old, and used to pace around and pray with me, and it was powerful. And so bring the kids, bring your friends. I mean, pastors, and let this be the one night a week when the city's gathering together in prayer. And so yeah. And I'll tell you what, when we were in Colorado Springs, unfortunately the pastors weren't showing up, but the body was. And so I'm not sure what's going to happen here, but I want to see revivalists show up, those who are hungry for revival, who are positioned for revival, who are working intentionally toward revival, and we can't sit back here in 2011 and just presume revival is going to break out. That's not going to happen. We have got to be very involved. And so this is one of the steps in that direction. And so the lab every Friday night, and you'll need to subscribe to the email so you know where we're going to be. Go to revivallab.com. So REVIVALLAB.com. Go there. You'll see a map on the front page. And so each week I'll be updating that. And then you can also subscribe to the emails, and you'll be able to get the info there. If you already get my emails, you'll need to actually subscribe to this one, because I'm gonna only send out the weekly Revival Lab emails to this new list that I developed. And so if you want to receive info on where we're going to be the next week, then you need to subscribe. So, all right, we're going to have a powerful night. It's about 9:30 right now, driving to Dearborn, Michigan, First Assembly of God there. And we're not leading this one. We're joining with an already established prayer meeting called 24 Flood. So we're just going to join with them and support them and pray. And so we're on our way there now. So in this little snow, not a storm, but a little snowy little reality that we're trying to deal with here in Detroit, we're heading down the road. So, all right. Blessings. Forward this on to everybody you know in the Detroit region. And if you want to invite me to travel out to your location anywhere in the world and to teach on prayer and revival or any number of topics, I'm ready to do that too. I'm ready to start. I want to fill up about 50% of my calendar in 2011 with travel. So, all right, go to johnburton.net for more information about that. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.